we just started taking pictures. And you can see clearly a woman.
And there's a man on the left-hand side, and then there's another woman in the back. I was completely stunned.
My ghost story began when I stepped inside of a 140-year-old building in Bethel, Ohio. In 2001, I was ordained as a priest, and I've been practicing in ministry for the last 12 years. The way I got involved in the paranormal world was I actually became part of a co-founding of a paranormal team. The motto of the group was, spirits have a story to tell, we're going to tell it. Tying that into my personal theology, developing my personal theology on what really existed beyond death. Tony and I have been best friends since first grade, so we've known each other for about 28 years now.
I think with Dave being religious and myself being of a calm nature, we make a good team that spirit and paranormal activity wants to actually come out and show themselves to us.
We went to Zips Printing because we were doing a paranormal conference back in May of 2012. We were talking to some folks, and they were saying some unusual things were happening at this building. They really urged us to kind of get in contact with the owner and go there and do an investigation.
We just talked to Priscilla, the owner, about the history of the building. She said it was built a little after the Civil War in the 1880s, and it was a former brothel.
It was a brothel from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. We've also found out that it was supposedly a satanic worshiping facility during the 1950s. It made it really interesting to go there because, you know, a lot of stuff's going to happen because of the trade that took place there. Myself, Tony, and 2 other team members arrived. We had started to bring some equipment in. Priscilla, the owner of the building, introduced herself, and we started talking about Miriam the Madam.
The legend behind Miriam is she was the madam of the brothel. From what we were told, the upstairs was her working area. And now all the windows are boarded up, which gave it a creepy, eerie feeling. Walking through the front door, it was instant electricity.
You could just feel that this is going to be a good night.
I had a nervous feeling, like maybe we shouldn't be in this place. The first thing I did was set up DVR cameras, and activity kicked up.
We immediately heard some footsteps. It sounded like a 300-pound man running up and down the stairs. At that point, started to walk upstairs.
We get to the top of the steps, and a box in the back room goes flying. It was sitting in a corner, and now it's across the room. There was no reasonable explanation for it whatsoever.
Immediately took out some cameras and started taking pictures. And the first picture turned out normal. As I looked at the second and third picture, I could see a distinct image of a shadow figure. You can see the outline of a human. It was clearly a man. It was kind of surreal because it was happening right in front of you. You knew something was there, and you could feel that it wasn't wanting you there. Later that night, we were upstairs, and we were in the middle room. We had 2 motion sensors set in the back. As we walked into the back, something wasn't right, and then we saw the motion sensors going off. So we just started taking some pictures. First, we couldn't see anything, but upon review, you could see a face. It looked like someone was just standing right there. Which I believe is Miriam, the madam. You can see clearly a human figure. She's holding something. I'm not sure what it is, but you can clearly see it from a silhouette standpoint on the side.
There's a man on the left-hand side, and then there's another woman in the back. After hearing the stories and all the activity, there's no doubt in my mind that was Miriam in the picture.
You just get like a really strong inclination that there's some kind of authoritative being there. It was mind-boggling.
After seeing the picture, I had the digital recorder in my hand, and I heard something, but I couldn't make out what was going on. When I listened closer, I got a EVP.
You heard the audio say, "Get out." And only a madam would have that authoritative kind of feeling, almost kind of like a principal.
When I heard that EVP, my jaw hit the floor. We set up DVR cameras in a few of the different rooms and just let them roll.
Upstairs, there's the room off to the right. We had set a camera up. You see this really bad energy.
It looked like somebody came in and out of the doorway.
you can see a image kind of creeping in and out of the door.
When we see the actual shadow pass, we're like, that shouldn't have happened.
It's definitely something which we believe to be Miriam.
It puts a little bit of fear into you.
The last hour that we were there, I could feel something kind of pass through me. As I felt that, I felt two hands grab my shoulder, and it pushed me. As it pushed me, I felt a burning sensation on my side.
All of a sudden, he says, my side's burning. So he lifts up his shirt. We definitely knew at that point we shouldn't be there. There's something evil in this building.
After everything that happened that night, the boxes flying, being pushed, pictures that we had captured, the EVPs that we had captured, there is definitely something evil, definitely something sinister.
Knowing that there's something out there that can do harm, you can't take it lightly.
I will say that the building's definitely desecrated to the devil. It's something that currently has evil attached to it until it's cleansed. I would advise anybody looking for demons to be extremely careful, because you might just find what you're looking for.